I'll break your understanding of advertising in 5 minutes. Think that soda you're drinking was your choice? What about that streaming service you just subscribed to? You probably think that was your call too. Well, for the next 5 minutes, I'm going to prove to you that many of your choices aren't entirely your own. Advertisers have spent decades and billions of dollars figuring out exactly how your brain works. They use a handful of psychological hacks to influence your decisions, and I'm about to expose them. They use that knowledge to create a desire for things you never even knew you wanted. But the moment you understand the game, the power shifts right back to you. So let's take a look at the invisible strings they pull. Section 1. The decoy effect. First up is a tactic that's so sneaky, you've definitely fallen for it without ever noticing. It's called the decoy effect. Imagine you're at the movies buying popcorn. A small is $3 and a large is $7. Faced with those two options, a lot of people just get the small one. But what happens if they add a third choice? A medium for $6.50. All of a sudden, that large for only 50 cents more seems like an incredible deal, right? That medium popcorn? That's the decoy. It was never really meant to be sold. Its only job is to make the large, more profitable option look like a total bargain. Streaming services, software companies, and fast food joints are masters of this. They create a slightly worse option just to make their preferred, more expensive product look like the most logical choice. You're guided to their preferred outcome without ever realizing you were led. Section 2. The anchor of false value. Next, let's talk about the trick that makes you feel like you're getting a fantastic deal, even when you might not be. It's called the anchoring effect. The very first piece of information you see, especially if it's a price, becomes an anchor that your brain latches onto. From that point on, every other price is judged against that anchor. This is why you'll see retail stores show a ridiculously high original price right next to the sale price. That $200 jacket might have never actually sold for that much, but seeing that number makes the $99 sale price feel like a steal. Amazon has this down to a science, constantly showing list prices right before the discounted price to make you feel like you're saving a fortune. Apple famously benefited from this when they launched the first iPad. Widespread rumors, which the company never bothered to deny, suggested a $999 price tag. So when Steve Jobs revealed it for just $499, it seemed like an incredible value, even though $499 was still a lot for a brand new type of device. They anchor your expectations high, so the real price feels like a win. Section 3. Social proof. The power of the crowd. Now, for one of the most powerful tools in the marketing playbook, social proof. We're wired to follow the crowd. If it seems like everyone is doing something, our brain just assumes it's the right thing to do. Advertisers exploit this like there's no tomorrow. It's why you see testimonials, celebrity endorsements, and user reviews plastered over everything. Think about it. A brand telling you its product is great is just marketing, but 1,000 regular people saying it's great, that's social proof, and it builds instant trust. In fact, studies show that around 90% of customers read reviews before making a purchase, which tells you how much we rely on others' opinions to guide our own. When you see a brand promoting photos of customers using their products, they're not just building a community, they're creating a powerful visual signal to your brain that says, look at all the people buying this. You should too. It's often more persuasive than any traditional ad because it feels real, even when it's perfectly orchestrated. Section 4. The weapon of emotion. Finally, we have the most potent weapon of all, emotion. Advertisers know that people often make decisions based on feelings, not logic. A car commercial isn't just selling a vehicle, it's selling the feeling of freedom on an open road. A phone ad doesn't just sell tech specs, it sells connection and the joy of sharing a moment. Brands like Dove and Kia have run incredibly successful campaigns by telling heartwarming stories, sometimes barely even mentioning the product. They build these powerful narratives around things like family, self-esteem, or nostalgia because they know that an emotional connection is what drives us to act. By making you feel something, joy, inspiration, even a little bit of fear, they create a deep, lasting bond with their brand. It's a way to bypass your rational mind and speak directly to your impulses. When you feel a connection, you're far more likely to trust the brand and eventually buy what it's selling. So that popcorn, that subscription, that jacket, were they really your choices? Or were you subtly nudged there by a decoy, an anchor, a crowd of social proof, or a carefully crafted emotional story? These tactics are literally everywhere. But the good news is, now you can see them. Awareness is your best defense. The next time you feel that powerful urge to buy something, just take a second. Ask yourself, why? Are you actually solving a problem, or is an advertiser solving one for you? If you want to keep exposing the tricks of the trade, make sure to subscribe and share this with someone who thinks they're immune to advertising. You might just blow their mind. Now for the fun part, let me know in the comments, what's the most manipulative ad you've ever seen? You know the secrets now. Use them wisely.